So on the back fenders for the Dodge, it looks like they're going to become one with the body. And I went through here with a Sharpie and made some marks. This is everywhere where the body is pretty much even. And then the marks are where the body has some difference in the curvature. Not a smooth transition. Varies on both sides of the car. This is pretty okay even back here. You see there's a little bit of a gap right in there. And then it's nice and snug up here. So, let me get this light out of the way here. What we're going to do is go through, grind all of this down between the two where it is close to even. I'm just going to go ahead and tack weld this. I'm going to weld it all the way down through here. And then where it's not even, I will make a relief cut and make them even. Or in this case where this gap's really wide up here, we will extend the fender, add a piece of metal. This fender was pushed in at one point in time, so it kind of compressed the fender and it was re-stretched. But in order to make a nice smooth transition between the body and the fender, we're going to go through and make all this one piece. I'm going to do a quick comparison on these fenders. This is the driver's side, and the transition from the body to the fender, as you can see, is quite a big step. As you come down this way, the step goes away, and the metal comes up and then kind of rolls out to the fender. In this case, the roll is further out than the fender, like so. You can see there's a gap. Over here on the passenger side, we have a smooth transition where the body line comes up to the fender all the way down to the bottom, and then this section there's a little bit of a bump here, and then up here you can see it's a little bit closer, but this body line is up higher than the rest of the fender, unlike it is down through here. So my next move is to take this body line and move it down, or this fender and move it up to smooth out that transition between the two. It's going to be a little bit tricky. This side on the driver is worse than the passenger side. There's a small section down here where it's actually pretty even, like it should be, and then it kind of starts to walk out. So my plan is to come in here and cut this hump or ledge this here. I think you guys can see where it kind of comes across and rolls up. I'm going to cut into that all the way around the perimeter and move it down into the body to kind of flatten that out and smooth the transition. Weld everything together, and then we'll go through and add some fiberglass filler wherever we've got some pinholes and some body filler to smooth everything out. So before I can take care of fixing this upper gap, I had to make sure that the bottom of the fender lines up with the bottom of the car. It does on the passenger side. I'll go over there real quick. You can see this point right here, nice and smooth, lines up really, really well. However, on the driver's side, there's a pretty big difference there. So I'm going to have to move this fender down to there, just like it is on the other side. That's going to require slotting this fender on the inside. And then once it's moved down, it's going to make this gap bigger at the top. But I'm already planning on slicing into the body to move the line down to meet the fender. So it should be fine. Just figured I would show you guys what I'm doing, kind of a step-by-step process. So if you're working on a custom like this is, where back in the 40s and 50s, panel fitment was close enough to put in welting, which was a rope basically that they would put between the body line and the fender to fill in the gap. So that's what they used to use, but we're going to try to get this a little bit closer. So set the camera up on time lapse and make an adjustment here, and then once we get this adjusted down here at the bottom where it needs to be at, I'll go through and start tack welding the bottom of the fender in all the way up to where it starts to be too much of a difference, and we'll stop welding there and then start cutting to the body and moving that body line back in. Now what probably happened is, my guess is the fender got squished. So there's two ways of doing this. You can move the fender out or move the body line in, and I might do a combination of both. So go in, get my bottom set, and then work my way up and pull the fender out from the body like so to kind of smooth that gap or get it as close as possible before I go in and start cutting into this rolled edge to move it in. So you can see here with the fender pulled away from the car, these are slotted. This bottom one's not, so I'm actually going to add another hole to make a slot so I can slide this thing down where it needs to be at. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. In the next video, we're going to take care of wrapping up the rough final body work on the Dodge. My name's Erwin. This is Three Wheels in a Block. We're giving back what time has taken away. We'll see you soon.